What's going on, guys? I'm Brandon Jones. I'm sitting here with Christopher Bell, and we're just catching up from the off season, getting ready to answer some fun questions.
So what have you been doing in the off season for fun and relaxation?
I mean, I don't know. I guess I'll go first here. Weirdly enough, with everything that's kind of gone on this year, I feel like this was the year that I did the most in the off season.
Really?
Yeah, for whatever reason, I don't know why. Normally, I'm the one that stays home and kind of just eases through December, and then kind of crank back up in January and start with simulator and stuff. But we went snow skiing, which was oddly difficult for me.
Had you ever been before?
No, it was first time. First time. We actually went with Harrison and his girlfriend.
Oh, Harrison Burton?
Yes, and Harrison schooled us. Like, I think
Was he pretty good?
He was good.
So,
And
like,
I think
he was a
showed
seasoned
up-
veteran.
Absolutely. He showed up with like, I'm all right. I've done it once or twice, and he was cutting on any hill that we went on, and I was not. It took me at least half the day, so we did 2 days on that, which was pretty cool. So by the second day, I was ready to come back. First day, I was ready to quit. So I would go back for sure doing that. And then we actually went to Nashville too with some group of friends. So that was kind of fun.
What'd you guys do in Nashville?
I love country music. Like, that's my biggest thing. So pretty much every place on the strip down there, they call it like the honky tonk highway strip.
Yeah,
They've
yeah.
all got live bands and stuff. So we just sat there, listened to music all day, and kind of just kick back and relax. So
Was it just you and Ashley that went, or did you go with a group of friends?
there was a group of a couple other guys that went also from the team, but we all kind of just funneled and tried to do our best to stay away from everybody. But we tried to go as a group as well. So that was pretty cool, pretty fun.
Yeah, when did you do that, like in December? Or?
It was actually before all the tragedy there that went down, all the bombing
yeah, I
stuff.
forgot
So,
about that.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. It wasn't long before that.
So were you actually like in that same area?
I don't think we were down that downtown area that it happened at.
Oh,
We were
okay.
kind of more off to the other strip, so that'd have been good. But yeah, pretty crazy after I saw that. So we had a good time. I mean, I hope that it didn't damage it enough too much, because I think in the future I'd go back
Wow.
for sure.
Well, I'll tell you what, it sounds like we kind of switched roles. Normally I'm the busy one during the off season. The last couple of years I've been going to, overseas to New Zealand and racing a bunch.
Yeah.
But pretty much since Phoenix, I've been taking it easy. And I raced the Chili Bowl and out in Tulsa a couple of weeks ago. But aside from that, like, I've just really been enjoying my time at home. Quarantine, I guess, turned me into a little bit of a homebody. So it was nice after Phoenix. Just Morgan and I stayed at home. Didn't do much. Got to spend Thanksgiving with family. Typically, I'm racing on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And then Christmas, we went up and spent a couple days with her family in Ohio too. So a lot of family time, a lot of sitting around, just trying to get rejuvenated, refreshed for new gig in 2021.
Absolutely. You got any more plans to do dirt racing or anything before we get going, or?
No. So I knew going into this season that dirt racing is going to be a little bit slowed down.
Yeah.
So I planned to run the Chili Bowl, which I did.
And that was
then,
your own car? You took to the Chili Bowl?
It was
or?
actually with my friend Chad Boat.
Yes.
So I drove for Chad.
Okay.
That was the second year I did that. So, but anyway, aside from Chili Bowl, that's pretty much it. And then
Yeah.
I'm focused on the Cup Series. So we'll went straight from the Chili Bowl and done till Daytona here coming up in a couple weeks.
That's good stuff. And welcome back, by the way, too.
Dude,
Good to have
I'm
you back.
glad to be home. Glad to be
Good
home.
stuff, man. It's good
Yeah.
stuff.
There's some new tracks on the schedule for 2021. What are you guys excited about? What's that mean to you?
Yeah, I'll start with this one.
Sure.
So I bet you, out of all the tracks, which one would you guess I'm excited about going to?
I would have to say the Bristol Dirt.
Yeah,
I don't know,
yeah.
though, man.
Honestly-
That's going to be a little weird, right?
Honestly, I forgot about that. Xfinity's running Bristol Dirt too,
I
right?
don't think we go on it.
Okay, you're
We're
not
the
going
only
on it.
ones that aren't. I think the trucks are,
Trucks go and Cup.
and Cup.
But so I honestly didn't even think about that. Obviously, I'm stoked for that one because
gonna be interesting.
I should have an advantage on it.
For sure.
But Road America, I
Oh,
won there
yes.
2 years ago now in the Xfinity car. So I'm stoked for some Road America.
That's right, man. I did forget about that. You guys have that now. That'll
Yeah.
be fun in a Cup car. That's going to be fast.
Dude,
Can't
it's gonna
imagine
be-
going through the kink back there. in a Cup
Yeah,
car.
no kidding.
That's
no
going to be a
kidding.
good time. What about Coda?
Coda, I don't know much about it.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to test there, I guess this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never really, obviously I've heard about it in the F1 races there and everything, but I don't know much about the track layout. Done a little bit of simulator work and trying to learn the layout, but I'll let you know after this weekend.
Oh, yeah, that'll be good. Hopefully you come back with some footage or something from it.
Yeah.
That'd be
So
good.
I know you guys went to Martinsville last year. So
was
that was
fun.
kind of new to the Xfinity schedule, at least.
That was. Luckily, I ran Kyle's truck the day before that race.
Yep.
And I think that honestly prepared me the most for that race for sure. I went to the simulator forever on that, and I think when I got to the truck race, I was like, that did not prepare me for whatever reason. Normally the simulator prepares you pretty good, but for whatever reason, it just the braking zone and everything, I just had to experience that again. That's been a long time since I've been there in anything really. So that was kind of cool. I think we have a night race this year. Xfinity
Martinsville
does.
night race.
I want to say so. So that'll be pretty fun too.
What would you say you're most looking forward to this year?
I just want to go see that COTA racetrack. I think that's going to be the coolest one to go check out. I mean,
Yeah.
F1 races and stuff being there, I think that's going to be something pretty neat. So running laps at the simulator seems fun. 20
Well,
turns.
I'll keep you posted on how it goes this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, so Christopher, you have a new crew chief after being with Jason Ratcliffe for 3 seasons. And Brandon, you've had the same crew chief. This is now the same crew chief in consecutive season with Jeff. How does each assess their situations, and what advice do you each have for the other based on different experiences?
Can I start this one too?
Sure, yeah.
All right, so Brandon, I've been with Jason for the last, 3 years now, basically ever since I moved to Xfinity and my whole car career. What advice can you give me going to a new crew chief?
Yeah, so this is actually the opposite for me. So my entire career has been maybe 2 years max with the same guy.
Yep.
And then I've either changed organizations or I've changed crew chiefs or something in the group has changed. And not to discourage you, but I do think that, the consistency does help a bunch.
Right.
At the same time, I've seen guys that have stayed together for a long time, and I think that Jimmy is a great example of it, having Chad as long as he did. Eventually, sometimes you can become too good of friends, in my opinion. There's times that I can see guys that have almost get too comfortable with each other.
Yep.
And then you start maybe not communicating the way it should be and everything, and I'm sure that's not the case there with you and Jason, but I think you're going to be fine, man. I mean, I've watched you with, I think, Gapart you had one time as well.
Yeah,
you had him
just
the
like
very
little one-off
first
races
race
or
or something. Yeah, so I mean, you're going to be good, dude.
Do you have any advice for helping build that chemistry quicker?
It's so hard with COVID right now, but
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest thing is, and that's, I think I pride myself on this pretty big, is the team's the number one thing. I mean, if you don't have the guys caring about you and working at you on the shop, I mean, I feel very confident in my group that they would want to work Saturday and Sunday every single week, to get my stuff prepared and put in overtime and stuff. And I think that means pretty much the biggest thing is just making sure that they care, and that they see that you care about them. That would be my biggest advice. And I mean, that could be the easiest thing of, just thanking them after the races or, inviting them to dinner every once in a while and stuff. And all this, you've been in the sport for long enough, but that's the little things I think that make a big difference, especially coming into a new group. Find your common things that you like and go do them.
Well, cool. Well, thank you.
Yeah,
I'll
absolutely.
take that to heart.
Yeah.
So what about you? You got Jeff Mendering for the third year in a row?
This is the third year with Jeff.
So
Yeah.
you guys are kind of building that, definitely have a notebook built up now.
For sure, big time. I think you always need 1 year, and you almost have to throw that year out,
Yeah.
with that guy. I mean, it takes pretty much that entire year, in my opinion, at each track to learn what you're talking about. If and I'm sure you guys use this as well, but we use that number scale as a way to describe the car. And I think everyone's scale is somewhat close, but it also takes a little bit of fine tuning to understand, what my number one is or what your number one is on the chassis setup. So takes a while to get that chemistry built up in 3 years now. I mean, I think that I'm coming in this year with the most confidence I've had with Jeff, just for that simple fact. I mean, I think that, we're all on the same page. At this point now, we kind of have that friendship level that I was telling you about.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all that stuff is so big. And I think that confidence is the biggest thing in this sport, is to come in and know that your best friend's working with you and that you don't have to question anything he's going to do.
Well, you guys have definitely been clicking, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's been
Last year was
fun.
fun to watch.
Absolutely.
All right, Christopher, you had a challenging rookie cup year, but showed steady improvement. What did you learn from the 2020 season that you'll build on in 2021?
Yeah. So Brandon, I think you can relate to me on this one a little bit. Changing organizations was a big deal. That was extremely difficult going from, Gibbs and even LFR was we had our relationship with Gibbs, but just going over there and experiencing how they do things differently was eye-opening. And I'm forever grateful for the opportunity to drive for LFR and
Sure.
Toyota and get my Cup Series started. But on the same hand, I'm so excited to go to JGR and get back, home, back to where, I'm sitting here looking at, the number 20 car and and you know, that's home to me. So
Sure.
very thankful that I get the opportunity to continue my Cup Series career at JGR, and yeah, going to LFR was definitely a difficult time.
Well, I think that comfort is like something so big too. I mean, like if you go somewhere and like you said, it was your first year, so everything was new.
Yeah.
And then you come back here and it's like, oh man, I know where I'm at now. Like it feels good. So I just think, if you had multiple years there, it would have probably changed eventually.
You're right. And it's like, just like you were talking about with Jeff, your crew chief, of building that relationship. Me at Gibbs, I'd been there for a number of years, and even before that, I was at Calabush Motorsports, which is basically a Gibbs truck team or whatever.
Right.
Everything is kind of built off of the Gibbs strategy or Gibbs mentality. So yeah, I mean, if I would have had a couple years at LFR, I think we could have gotten to where, or it felt more like home to me. But yeah, I'm definitely right at home at Gibbs.
Yeah, for sure. What in a nutshell, I know don't give no secrets out or anything, but I mean, what was the biggest jump, I guess, from you running so well in Xfinity to now like competing with Cup guys? I mean, we compete with them, a couple of times as well in our series. Was it just the field increased, or? So
I would say, your A-level cars in Xfinity are still your A-level cars in Cup. So, obviously Joey Logano and Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin, they don't get better on Sundays than they are on Saturdays, but there's just more of those cars, right? So if you have an off day in Xfinity, it's, you go out there and you run your 5th to 10th or whatever, and you're a little bit off. But if you have an off day in Cup, the field's a lot deeper. So your 5th to 10th place finishes turn into 15th to 20th outside the top 20. Right. Yeah. So that was pretty eye-opening to me. Just even like, I use this example a lot, but Las Vegas was the first race after Daytona. And, I kind of had in my head that I was going to run, that 10th to 15th mark. If we have a great day, we'd be up toward the top 10, and then expect that, I guess, around 15th. Right. And, man, they dropped the green flag, and I was running outside the top 20, and, a couple cars in front of me, there was Kyle, and Denny was right in front of me, and Eric was right in front of me. I think Martin had a really good day, but it was just eye-opening to see how, your bad days in Cup is your results are bad because there's so many good cars. Yes, I've seen that just watching from from my perspective. It's like there's multiple times where you see all of them back there. I mean, you've seen, Jimmy's another great example. I know I've used him before, but 7-time champion, and then you see him have days that he's had. So it's kind of crazy to wrap your head around. That's how deep that field gets. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a fun transition. A lot. For sure. It's been very difficult, but going back home. So I'm really excited about it. Looking forward to it. All right, Brandon. It's fun catching up with you. We'll see you guys at the track.